to even think about catching up. eUnited are one of the teams who are just outside that top 6. They're, realistically able to climb back up there. Zero issue. Like the desk said before, they've thrown away all their points to try something new. And if that doesn't work out immediately, then what on earth are you going to do next?
Yeah, wait a second. Falls can have a chance.
Oh!
He's just landed perfectly to try and take a first-time shot. And that is what you need if you're zero issue after such a lame duck affair in that very first game. He's have an immediate chance.
Yeah, it looks like False went and did a quick bench press routine there during the break, because that 50-50 was brutal.
Before you're getting too much excitement, okay? Relax, okay? You're all getting hysterical.
Yeah, this is another pause coming in here, but hopefully we'll get back into the game in a couple of moments. Zero issue, I've got a chance now. Well, it only took 17 seconds. They've got the chance that they needed. It was off of False, the Mexican star player, crushing a 50-50. Just absolutely nailed it. The ball didn't even move. He didn't even move. The other player went flying. But like we said, it's a defense that we need to see from them. We need to see just a game where they don't mess up. It's like what JT were able to do against Loco in the first series. They just played a third game in that series where they didn't really make any defensive mistakes. Then we think to ourselves, okay, I think with that foundation they can build a comeback on. Yeah, it's gonna be very hard for Zero Issue to hold on to this one, I feel.
Yep, so we're going to be able to return to this series very soon, but we just need to go to a quick break, then we'll continue with match number 2 of this series. Welcome back to the RLCS Season X, and we are going to be continuing on with eUnited against Zero Issue here. For those of you that missed it, it was eUnited that did take game number 1. We had a quick technical pause to sort something out in game 2, which Zero Issue have got the lead in, Johnny.
Yeah, the goal does stand, so we're picking this one up 1-0, which is a big deal for Zero Issue. They were having some real trouble creating any kind of offensive opportunity in game 1. But what we've learned from the game 2, the little bit of it we saw before the short break there, is that you don't want to take a 50-50 with False. He has hit the gym, and he's ready to crush some eUnited players on the ground.
There he is, trying to find some way around, but Tristan just too quick from him there. Nice infield pass. Sprinovi very alert too. Managed to get there just in time. Yes, United, big tournament for them. Talked about it earlier on regarding points and where everyone stands. 400 total points available for whichever team comes first, which is good for United because they currently sit 410 points behind qualification in that top 6 for the World Championship. So big tournament needed here, Johnny.
Yeah, for eUnited, it's all about getting as many points as they can. It's unlikely that they're going to win this event, but they've just got to try and finish ahead of the teams that they're in direct competition with. Teams like Rogue, Peeps, KCP, Alpine, PK. Oh, look at that, actually. False! He didn't need a 50-50 on this one, but look at the power shot from his own half. He read Kronovi's touch off the back wall very well there. That's a great play by False.
Well, we finally figured out what he's hitting the gym for. He's going for Olympic shot put across the field. And that is going to be good enough for 2-0 for Zero Issue. Full starting to hit his groove here in this series. Now it's Brisky's turn. Nice flick from him. United, we spoke last game, Johnny, how they could kind of not afford to do much of anything in the previous one. It was Zero Issue that were causing their own mistakes, put themselves into awkward positions that they couldn't recover from. Now with a 2-goal advantage, eUnited can have to step up quite a bit here and show what they're capable of.
Well, it was a clean sheet in game 1 for United, but it wasn't a perfect defensive performance. I do recall, at least once watching a Brisky long shot trickle wide of the post when Ajax wasn't in position. So that's one thing, if we look at game 1 and game 2 of this series, United can definitely work on. It's playing a bit of a safer third man role, just not advancing too far up the field. Oh, look at this though. Brisky makes it 3-0. And eUnited have walked right into it again. Tristan just gives it away, and Brisky slams home the 3rd goal.
Yeah, Tristan tried to recover. I think he got bumped by his teammate on his way over, and mid-air thought, I can still do something with this. And he could. He could hand it straight back over to Zero Issue to put themselves up by 3. And this one has got out of control very quickly. Still half the game to go here. United score very soon, which this play might provide. What a passing play.
Yeah.
And Tristan will see his shot shut down. is more of what eUnited are going to need if they're going to bring back game 3, or game 2, I should say.
Yeah, they have to up the aggression. It's been a clinical, really, really clinical zero issue in game number 2. eUnited, like you said, running out of time already if they want to take this one. I'm sure they do. They've been a bit quiet with their setups. Actually false, so the hat trick is out there. That would have been beautiful. He did not get around that one, and first touch just put it too far out of reach.
Certainly a momentum shifter if you can get yourself a hat trick over here in game 2. Risky ends up leaving it. I think you should. Every time Full said he's got it, I would be leaving immediately. Just whichever side of the field he says he is taking, leave it to him. He has just looked that good so far. Game 2, Kronovi pops the ball up. eUnited here. Apart from their one flurry, have not had anything in the other side of the field. This might be their second chance, but Brisky half rotates, make sure he could intercept the play. And it looks more likely at the moment, Johnny, to be a 4-0 rather than it would be a 3-1. eUnited, they're going to need to start turning that around this game very quickly. Starting to look like it'll be impossible for them to make that comeback, and a missed touch from Wonder Mike. Happy to see that there was nobody around to capitalize on it.
Yeah, eUnited have just done everything wrong in defense this game. You know, getting destroyed in a 50-50, pressing up too far with your third man, and then giving away the ball for the third goal. So although I want to give credit to Zero Issue for taking all the chances they've been given, they were still given those chances. eUnited need to improve significantly, you know, even not just to get past Zero Issue here, but if they want to advance deep enough in this tournament to start being competition for their rivals that we just mentioned, it's not easy to see them making a deep run with the defensive performance like they've had so far.
Kronovi launches over the falls. This one is done and dusted here, Johnny, which leads us to my favorite game show between us, which is the Sonics have just taken on Vibrant. 3 games played. Who took it?
Okay, that's Sonics in 3, surely, as Tristan
Yeah, there you go. Easy enough for you.
Yeah, there we go. So I got one right. Tristan perhaps just getting a consolation goal here. We'll have to wait and see if they can pull out a miraculous comeback, the likes of which we saw from top blokes in EU. It all starts with a strong kickoff possession. What's their plan of action? Just a pretty standard approach, if you're honest. And that's not going to cause Zero Issue any issues as they take a game. And that is something I said I would be impressed by. I am impressed that they've done this because we said in game 1, it's a while ago now, I know, but we said in game 1 that they need to sort out the defensive miscommunications. They need to play more consistently. They've done that, and they've also picked up 3 goals on their opponents who have decided to be the ones making all the mistakes in defense. It's been just a game about defensive mistakes so far and who can avoid making them.
Yeah, for Zero Issue, that is their first game win of the tournament. Haven't had the easiest bracket, of course, with Zero Issue and the Sonics being their opponents in both rounds. But this is a great position for them to be in. And of course, all eyes will be on Falls heading into this next game. If he's getting these opportunities, he is taking them at the moment. It's up to eUnited to make sure that he does not get them, because while Zero Issue are scoring the chances, I still question their ability to create them, Johnny. It's going to be something that we've got to keep looking at. And this is the one that is going to see who is going to get themselves 2 match points.
Indeed, I would agree. eUnited and Zero Issue actually not that much in the way of creativity from them, not that much in the way of possession play, passing play in offense. It's just been a bit of, hard clearing here and there, a little bit of dribbling, but nothing too crazy. I do think eUnited's playmaking ability is a lot higher, but I want to point out one very important thing that we did see in Game 2, and that is that Brisky and False, the 2 players who are newest to this level. I mean, Kronovi's about as old as they get, going all the way back into SARP, never mind preseason and RLCS Season 1. Yeah, the fact that Brisky and False have both got goals, that's going to really lift their confidence here. And if there's ever a time that they're going to make an upset, it would be now, right after crushing United in Game 2.
Let's see what they can do here as we go over to DFH Stadium, and it's already Ajax. He's got not too much boost, but he knows plenty of ways to how to use it. There's the bump Kronovi on the way out. It's a bit of chaos now as everyone just sort of gets into the same position on the field.
Yeah, there's no boost
now.
for Zero Issue
Brisky.
here. None. Just 0 on all 3 members. Kronovi actually made a very wide rotation to grab 100.
Oh, we got a lock in. Ajax and Falls.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Actually, 2v2 for the moment.
I don't like this one. You got to keep Falls in.
Oh,
actually,
it's very close to going past him. I think, honestly, this is probably
I think
a
Falls,
2v2 that favors...
as soon as he actually holds down the accelerator or the reverse button, he would actually demo Ajax. I've seen what he's doing this series.
I mean, this definitely favors Zero Issue, the position of this one, because they can be a bit more aggressive. Still have a third man. Oh, well, not if it's going to run straight through the middle like that, but... You know, initially, I think that's a smart one to be taken. Respect says False in the game chat. But oh dear, Brisky just got completely destroyed there by Tristan's mind game. And that's it. Brisky's got a bit of 1v1 experience. He's not going to be happy about that.
Certainly not. And 1-0 over to eUnited. Of a temporary... There's a lot of sorry, these guys are just messaging each other, giving each other a lot of respect for sticking with that.
Well, see, Ajax replied, "Good job, False." I just wonder if he was being sarcastic at all.
I feel like we're just too cynical here, Johnny. I'm gonna just look on the positive side for a change.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously like to see it. I was ready to compliment Zero Issue's positioning off the head-on collision. We saw it work out well recently for a defensive team. I mean, you can just be a bit more aggressive with your 2 players and then have your third man break out of the headlock if they need to. And, you know, it's going to get a lot of... they're going to get memed a little bit on Twitter, and, you know, definitely a lot of people are going to be disappointed to see it happen, but this is competition. You got to make those plays. A lot of money on the line here, a lot of points on the line for the RLCS X circuit.
3 minutes left to play. Still that 1 goal is the difference. Kronovi's shot actually has a lot of power on it, and Ajax able to get back. It's one of those positions that, since it is so close to the goal line, can't really get the half volley going, so it's turned into a very difficult time for eUnited to escape their own side of the field. A bit of a misrotation from Brisky. Will help eUnited out with that, though. Now Falls ends up leaving it, and that is directly into the path of Tristan. Kronovi forced to scramble back. And Zero Issue, that was probably their best chance to maybe start looking for some of those demos, and I feel like that's something that they can add to their arsenal here. There's a lot of doing nothing when you're off the ball, just waiting for the play to come to you. They can definitely be a lot more proactive with disrupting and annoying eUnited.
Well, yeah, both these teams look pretty new, to be honest. There's really not a lot in the way of passing between either of them. There, you know, a few solo plays being attempted, plenty of hard clears, plenty of dribbling, but really just no passes whatsoever from either team. You'd expect United to be a little bit better. That's well dealt with by False. Now he's got a 1v1 with Ajax, who's closed the gap extremely well. That was great ball pressure by him. But for a moment there, False had a good setup. I like the first touch. Now he's going for a Brisky actually back wall bump on Tristan. Doesn't get it. Ajax on a 1v1. He will flick too high, but False, under pressure, he deals with it well. That's another good save by him.
Yeah, you can kind of see where the game plan is coming into fruition for eUnited. They want to outplay their opponents. They want to be the quicker team after that. Just eventually eliminate so many players from the rotation that there's nobody left to actually defend against you. But just haven't been quick to those sort of plays just yet. Let's see how quick they can beat to this one as Brisky, he has managed to get himself back. And that was not a fake. That was Brisky trying to show that he might have it. He was on 0 boost, but it was good enough to bluff his way out.
Yeah, Brisky taking the B out of his name on that play, but it worked out brilliantly. Nobody expects that. But they're still down by 1, and Tristan is looking to double it up here. There's no defense for False, Kronovi, Brisky. I don't know whose job it was to stay back as third man here. I'm probably got to call out Kronovi, to be honest. Driving all the way up into the challenging position and then just not challenging.
Yeah, you know what? When you put it like that, that doesn't sound too great, does it?
Yeah, just he drove into no man's land, really, and then didn't even commit to the challenge. At that point, you're all in. You've got to just go for it. I'm not sure if he had to go in the first place. So it's maybe a bit of a strategical misplay in the setup as well as the execution. Not what Zero Issue needed. Oh, Kronovi in reverse!
Redemption!
What a goal! And again, it's a surprise for eUnited, who were completely unprepared.
I think Falls was almost trying to show that maybe he had no boost there. He was so late towards taking that fully under his own control. He just sped that as quickly as he possibly could over to Kronovi. Backflip shot allows Zero Issue to get back into this game. And for a backboard mistake, actually, from Tristan. He's not going to provide. Instead, almost found the flip reset. ZeroIssue need that one big play, and they've got to figure out who's supposed to actually provide it. Those double commits have actually allowed Kronovi to move on in. This one battles very difficultly, as both players go flinging on past from it. Ajax moves to the other side of the field, but ZeroIssue will look at that as an opportunity lost. They are going to go down 2-1, but we should have seen overtime.
Oh, certainly. That was just not good enough. Both players expected a block to be necessary there, and that's led to 2 whiffs simultaneously. But as the attacking team there, when you're down by 1, ZeroIssue, they need to make contact. Whoever was coming in for that rebound, they didn't see who flashed across the screen there. It's their job to just make sure that they hit the ball. You can't really look at what the goalkeeper's doing in that position. Because as much as, you know, a big block, a big dunk goal would look like a genius play if it works out, how ridiculous does it look if you just have a ball bouncing on the goal line and then you don't hit it? Main problem for ZeroIssue this game, though, is even the fact that they got into this position. 2 plays where Tristan was able to just roll the ball into their net. One time he faked out Brisky, and the other time Kronovi just drove completely into no man's land and did nothing when he got there. So ZeroIssue, going back to a bit of their game 1 self there, definitely making mistakes, and they have been punished for it. eUnited's playmaking capability still hasn't really shown up though, so it is, you know, I'd say winnable for ZeroIssue if they can just play that game 2 defense.
I'll see what they can provide for us over here at Utopia. Big opportunity here for eUnited to finish off a series that hasn't been overly convincing for them. If they could have seen more games like game 1, then it would have been difficult to make any sort of judgment on them, really. They didn't have to do much there. ZeroIssue stepping up and hitting the crossbar with that one. The questions start coming a little bit quicker for eUnited, and I've not been overly impressed by them so far. There is Falls. Ceiling reset. It's not going to overly affect eUnited's defense. Oh, and it's just flown on past. Try to fake out the second one. Falls ends up losing that challenge. And Kronovi, I think he missed the boost. Kronovi's having a really difficult time here. Over to Wonder Mike. Kronovi's missed it yet again.
Goodness.
Ajax will put it in. And that is not a good showing from the veteran.
Can you give the controller back to Kronovi, Shogun? What on earth is going on here?
Whoa, this is a stumpy play. That's not a Shogun play.
Yeah, actually, facts. That's definitely true. I'll give you that. But oh dear, that was the worst moment of the match so far for ZeroIssue. Kronovi just totally out of position, out of the play, and eUnited again have got a goal without really having to work too hard for it. This isn't the, you know, best warm-up series for them, but they'll take it at this point. This series doesn't make any sense, really. It's been all over the place for 3 out of the 4 games. And look at that demo at the back. False. He has been the playmaker a lot of the time for ZeroIssue. Once again, he takes out the goalie, and Brisky's got the open net.
And for Kronovi, I think he'll be happy just to have been the one to provide that, get his feet back on the ground, start showing up a little bit more like the Kronovi that we expect to see. Oh, but ZeroIssue again. There's just these weird moments that they don't quite seem to know who's supposed to take the ball. And it has really messed up their ability to get out of defense quite often. And unfortunately, it's not on one side of the ball either. They've also done it in offense. There's been so many times that, oh, here we go, another double commit. Balls is going to have to try and recover this play for the team. They are a bit of a pickup team for this tournament. Certainly rotating exactly like it. Risky. Reset from him. Gets over the Falls. Ajax won't have any support for a while, so it's up to him to go by himself. He's more than comfortable doing that. It's over to Tristan. His shot will be saved by Kronovi. A little bit of a tester game. The eUnited, seeing that ZeroIssues have really struggled with some fundamental parts of their gameplay. So just slowing it down, not taking the risks. Willing to see whether or not those issues are going to turn up again, and it has!
Oh dear.
Well, for eUnited, This was not a goal you were expecting. And if you're Zero Issue, this was not a goal you were expecting either.
Oh my goodness, this is just a series that Kurnovi will want to forget about right now. He thought the ball was hitting the crossbar, but it wasn't even close. It just went in directly. I don't know where he thought the goal was, but...
He redeemed the last one. He's got 20 seconds. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to really pick it up a defense. So, my goodness. eUnited have not had to work hard for these goals at all. They, they're displaying such a defensive line here. Just very, very fast.
Just saving boost for like a future tournament or a future series.
They really are. They're just sitting in their back wall. They're sitting behind the halfway line and waiting for Zero Issue to mess up in defense. And it's working, to be honest. I don't even disagree with the strategy. But like I said earlier, it's not a good warm-up for what they're going to have to do later on in the tournament. If they want to be challenging these top-level teams, they can't play like this. They can't play this passively.
Should be very happy he missed that. That was going to be an own goal if he caught it.
Yeah, given the day he's having, it probably would have been. But time is running out. Final 90 seconds. It's a long time in most games, but Zero Issue can hardly put 2 and 2 together right now, far less score a goal.
It's off the backboard. It's a good demo, and that is Brisky coming on through. And it will be Kurnovi to redeem himself yet again. Great setup from him. Took out Tristan after the fact. And he's having maybe the weirdest series of his entire career, and that is saying something.
I honestly don't know what I'm looking at right now. Like, how that ball bounces off the back wall and no eUnited defender is ready to hit it when it gets there just blows my mind. They're playing such a defensive position at the moment. They are all the way back. Actually, just all the way back. I mean, they might have realized early on in the series that they were pressing up a bit too far with the third man, but the solution is not to play 3 third men. That's a few too many, and it's not really done anything for them. That ball just bounced off the back wall next to the goal. Nobody did anything about it. So I've got to give credit. Kurnovi landed a great demo, and Brisky again followed through the demo with an open net shot. But eUnited, they can't let that happen. How is the ball just bouncing off their back wall there? And nobody's going to say anything about it.
Okay, so flip the coin here, Johnny. Kurnovi's been directly involved in every single goal we've seen. Which side of the field is it going to be this time? Well, it looks like it's going to be the best one! Kurnovi has his first goal, and it's managed to put his team up by 1. What? Johnny, what is this game?
Wonder Mike is he seeing double?
He
just jumped in the complete wrong direction.
Johnny, it's all fine.
Well, I'm not even, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, Wonder Mike just jumped in the wrong direction. He wasn't even close. The ball was to his left, and then he just jumped off to the right. It's like
that's actually going to be 1. From the crossbar. Wonder Mike and Tristan both up. The blockings are working well for that double commit. Means that they've got absolutely no ability to rebound. This has been the sloppiest, most chaotic game we have seen this regional. And from a neutral perspective, I've loved absolutely every single moment of it. What a 5 minutes of Rocket League. Let's get another over at Champions Field.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I really enjoy the good old Clown Fiesta at the highest level that we get to witness sometimes, but that was something else. I was totally unprepared for just, I'm going to be honest, how shambolic that series was. Every goal was awful. You make a top 5 worst goals of the day segment on tomorrow's pre-show.
You're really pushing that.
Every goal, they're all in it. Every single goal of this series is in the worst 5 goals of the day because that was just, it was terrible for both teams. I feel awful, but I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Not every Rocket League game is the best Rocket League game I've ever seen, and some of them are maybe literally the worst Rocket League game I've ever seen. But I mean, that was entertaining, if nothing else. I've got to thank these 2 teams for keeping us guessing, because I have no idea what's going to happen in Game 5. What's going on here? Somebody please score a normal goal.
Right, Johnny. I'm gonna give you a moment to compose yourself. I'll set the scene here. eUnited, as weird as this series have been, still need a good result here. A loss makes that they are trailing in the points get even worse because those teams that are above them, all bar a couple, are in that upper bracket. They are guaranteed a better final position than eUnited. They would be starting to escape them, and that would put them not only, you know, above a tournament win away from starting to catch up. They would need, you know, even more than that. They would need the final half of their season to look absolutely fantastic. So this is crucial here for eUnited. As funny as this has been, they've got to get a win.
I mean, they need a win, if not only for their overall points in the standings. I just think they need a win here so that they don't all uninstall the game afterwards. If they lose this, they are actually just uninstalling Rocket League immediately after the series is over, because this has been, it's been shocking. eUnited have been a really good team this season. They've been one of the up-and-coming teams that we can just add to the list of teams that might pop off on a day and take down anybody, but this has been so far away from that, and the only thing I can think of to explain it is that both teams keep surprising each other so much with misplays that they are just as confused as we are. No one can read the game right now. Nobody has a clue what's going on. Whatever game they think they're playing, it definitely isn't Rocket League, and since they've been preparing to play Rocket League today, actually their preparation has been completely pointless. They've shown up here today, and whatever they thought was going to happen is the opposite of what's actually occurred. So now, I mean, just sit back, relax, get the popcorn. I'm sure we're going to see a brilliant goal to separate these two teams. Let's just wait and see who's going to bring it to us.
Here is Falls looking to try and continue what he had managed to establish in game number 2. Kronovi straight over to Tristan. We've got to talk about who the real winner's got to be at the moment. As Ajax.
Oh!
That would have been a way to re-establish yourself in this series. As Brisky will clear, but from a team that wasn't looking great yesterday, Loco have got to be loving this at the moment. We already heard that they're going to be watching this series. They have got to love every moment of this one as that's off the crossbar. Brisky looks to clear. One more shot. That one's going to be too high as well. eUnited looking like they're starting as the better team here, but they've got to find that final touch, and that will do it. Bump on the goalkeeper, and Wonder Mike puts the team up by 1.
Huge bump. Again, it's the physical play off the ball. It's the one redeeming factor in the last 10 minutes or so of Rocket League. And the open nets after these bumps and demos are coming through have been, it's been there. It's been impressive. And that is actually saying something, because before then it was only crossbars for eUnited. They've actually got a shot on net there. Can they play 2 minutes of solid defense? To be honest, I wouldn't be wagering any channel points on that myself if I had any. I don't, because I lost them all recently to a surprising Team Queso victory in Europe, but that's okay. You know, I'm sure you guys have got plenty to make up for it. That's a good goal, actually, for eUnited. That's the cushion that they wanted to be sitting on. But, oh, man. What is going on in the back corner? False. Did not make any contact in that ball, Shogun. Really no other way to say it.
It's happened a few times as well. Zero Issue, you know, are sort of either too slow to these plays where they feel like they have to react to what they think eUnited are going to do with it. But we saw it towards the end of, I think, game 3. Where they had a chance on the goal line, and because they were too late, they ended up reacting. eUnited player ends up missing it. That means they end up flying past it as well. So it has been a constant issue for Zero Issue. Let's cross to the far side of the field. Zero Issue now with 90 seconds to turn this series around, and what a shot! Oh my goodness, Wonder Mike! It's starting to show us what eUnited should be capable of. And if those of you are out there wondering why we're being so harsh on them on the lead up, it's because they can do this.
Yeah, it's about time, Wonder Mike. It's about time. What a goal for eUnited. And that, you know, at least that'll give them something in the way of confidence when they go into the series against Loco later on today, where they will need to produce just more of that and none of what we saw in game 4, because Loco played so well earlier on in the day. You know, Loco and JJ both looked like a rank ahead of eUnited and Zero Issue, to be honest. It shows how competitive and how unpredictable it is. That's a good save by Kronovi, but Zero Issue still running out of time, even more so than before.
Yeah, Zero Issue have now got to send everything at this. 1 minute to get 3 goals. And with Wonder Mike doing this, I mean, just keep your eye on the clock whenever he goes to that sort of play. That's 5 seconds just to get the ball back down to the ground, let alone to get it back to the blue side of the field. Which is something the Zero Issue have not managed to do so far. Risky's on 0 boost. He ends up double committing along with Falls, and they get nothing for it. That looks like eUnited have done the job that they needed to do. Well, I hope that we have only paid attention to Game 5. This has looked more like the eUnited that we expected to see, but the 20 minutes that preceded that were interesting. I'll put it like that. Johnny might have some more pointed words later on as we got ourselves one goal. All right, so we've been in this position before, Johnny.
Look at that.
Kickoff it was pretty plain and basic last time we were in this little position. It's got to be different now.
It's okay though. What I saw there was the beginning of a clown fiesta. It's about to go down. Here we are. So we had a double commit from eUnited. They could still throw this. You know, if anything we've learned today is that this is throwable. But with full boost and a few other members, they should be okay here. eUnited holding on to a 2-goal lead. Zero issue. I mean, I hate to take away from them one of the only things that I've said that's positive today, but you know, I said if they get a game here, I'll be impressed. I actually take that back. They got 2, but I'm not impressed with either of these teams. However, I think eUnited, when they're up against some competition that they're more used to, they should be able to step it up here. This was just one of those series where none of the players could get their wheels on the pitch. They just didn't know what was going on, and it just kept on spiraling out of control. I still, you know, have some hope for Zero Issue. These players are definitely talented. We saw moments where they looked the part, but unfortunately for them, they were far too few and far between, and the defense just couldn't handle eUnited's, even the most timid eUnited offense that we've seen in a while.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a domino effect that we saw throughout this series, but it does really open this part of the bracket up. I think a lot of the people are expecting, hey, Jamal Jabari or eUnited definitely should be making it through here. Instead, Loco now with as high a percentage chance as you could possibly give them. So we're going to get a chance to see whether or not they can take it or if eUnited can stabilize later on today. But before then, we're going to go towards a quick break. When we come back, we get into series number 3 as Seoul look to do the unthinkable and prove Gibbs correct when they take on Space Station Gaming.